Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am JayLee, this JLeesCorner. This is my late review for Married at First Sight, Season 11, Episode 9. I don't know why I put my shades on, not my glasses. I guess I'm just being difficult because my neighbors have been difficult with playing music. But let's move on from that, okay? If you have not done so already, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel and become a whole JayBird, dun 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 dun, and all that goodness and stuff. I want to inhale and exhale. I really do. I don't feel like it because I'm like, girl, let's just move on past that because this episode review is days and days late and I was kind of bored. That may be the reason why I'm also wearing sunglasses. But again, this was season 11, episode 9. It always get a little bit boring after a little bit or whatever. So I guess that was this episode. I wasn't going to review it at all, except it was a couple good pieces. So I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and do it. Okay, so let's just get started on this. I'm going to try to do this whole thing in my shades. Y'all know I can't see without my glasses, but we're going to let it be. First up, we have Miles and Karen. Okay, I tried to pick one picture of the whole couple, of each couple, to show all in real life. Even though I don't like Karen right now, I just ended the episode. So we see Miles invited a friend over to his friend that's a chef because he wanted to have the chef friend teach them how to make a meal. Like, as usually she cook, and so he want to cook a little bit, he wants to help a little bit here, help a little bit there, or whatnot. I'm saying they had a good time, cook some good food or whatever. She said she was happy that he set that up for them because she was surprised. Okay, the food looked good. Okay, the food made me a little hungry. I may have wanted my pasta to be seasoned a little bit more. I would have wanted more sprinkles of pepper or paprika or cayenne pepper or something, or some crushed red peppers or something. But I can't be a beggar or a chooser, so I'm just gonna say it was what it was. So we had that whole scene, them chit chatting. I'm gonna need Karen to stop saying that she's wondering if Miles is really a thoughtful guy or if he's fronting or something. I'm looking like, girl, that's getting aggravating. I mean, if he isn't giving you a reason to question who he's showing you he is, stop questioning it, okay? Please and thank you and whatnot. So we then see the producers gave each couple like questions to ask each other to have conversation and everything, okay? And so they start discussing childhood things and like how his childhood was. He brings up how, I moved around a lot because my dad's job. But then my parents separated when I was around 9 years old. Okay, so because of that, I was always going back and forth between the two houses of my parents. Okay, and so for that reason, I always felt torn between both parents, as if I was, what I'm saying, I had two families on my shoulder, okay? Had to do two different things with two different. It was too much. And he, had that going on from the time he was around 9 years old until he was in high school. He said in high school, I felt like I could not take it anymore, okay? I could not take having, the stress of doing it all for two people or whatever. The crazy part is that's your parents' fault. That was some bullshit, but I digress. Anyway. So, she brings up, like, so that's why I don't want you to always feel like you have to do everything for me. Like, I don't need you to get burnt out, and not have enough for yourself. Okay, for yourself. And he like, look, what I'm saying? This is just me. Like, this is how I'm built, okay? And I get that you want things to be this or that. It's just in me, okay? And I feel like eventually you'll see the insane things just get better with time with me, okay? And that's it. She like, look, well, for me, I think things need to kind of gradually grow, okay? I don't want everything up front. Girl, and I get what she's saying, but it's like, he doing bare to us because I don't know where they living, but it seems as if he just doing bare minimum things to make sure she okay. I mean, do you want him to not give any fucks? I mean, Miles, just stop giving any fucks about Karen, and then she will be happy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He like, okay, I get it, because she said I don't want anyone to have to coddle me. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to go from I was single one day and overnight I'm not married and someone is here trying to be in my life and be perfect all the time and just coddle me. I don't want anyone to coddle me. And I get it. I get what she's saying, but she's complaining about an issue that isn't an issue. She wants him to stop giving a fuck. So Miles, just stop giving a fuck. Let her car break down. Don't try to help her fix the car. Let her car break down. Don't cook no food. Don't do no laundry. Don't look at it. Just don't even talk to her. Don't talk to her for 2 weeks. And she will love you, okay? She likes to be dogged a little bit. You have to dog people like Karen a little bit for them to feel as if, you just, I don't know why. Why? You need to grow out of that bullshit. That's why you guys were single, okay? I digress. Anyway, we then see them later on, you know what I'm saying, going grocery shopping or whatever. And she said it feels good going grocery shopping, with my husband. And he said, I like going shopping with my wife and pushing the cart. And so, it was fine. Now, as they walking and talking in the grocery aisle or whatever, she tells him, I've never really been with a guy who was like open with his feelings. And so it's different for me. I don't know how to fully handle it yet. I'm happy she was able to verbalize that to him. I mean, I still think it's stupid to say that you don't know how it is to be with somebody who is open about their feelings. It ain't like you don't know how to act because you're over here eating shit. It ain't like you say, he ain't doing it. That's not abnormal. It's not at all. You abnormal, but I digress and whatnot, okay? And then, she makes a comparison, like, it's like my hair. I have a new hairstyle or whatever. I like my new hairstyle. It's new. I like it. But, like, how do I handle it? How do I maintain it? Do I wear a bonnet? What do I do to keep it? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, girl, you don't tell us to look bad. You don't tell us to be stupid. You just be like, be your best self. And I'll like you for that, too. She gets on my goddamn nerves or whatnot, okay? Now, he then asked her in the store, like, how do you think, with my emotional intelligence and, my masculine way, like, do you think they match well? Now, she said, yeah, but she's a plum lie, because she still questions if he's masculine enough for her. And I don't get why she's what do you need him to do, bench press a truck? Do you need him to pull the truck off your body? What do you need him to pick a mattress up and climb it up 15 flights of stairs? Like, what do you need him to do to show you he's more masculine? Does he need to trip you down the stairs? I don't get it, okay? Karen irks my nerves. She does. She got a whole good-ass husband. And she pissing the bitch. Girl, she aggravates me. I want to know that, okay? Anyway, back at the house, okay? They putting up food or whatever, chit-chatting and whatever. And he brings up intimacy. Because they've been married right now for almost 3 weeks. And, you're supposed to have these kinds of conversations and whatnot, okay? And so he said, I feel like, that you are uneasy talking about intimacy. She's like, well, I'm not, that's not an issue for me or whatever. I can talk about it. You lying. You can't. Because he's trying to have the conversation. Her ass is literally in the refrigerator. Her whole head is in the fridge and she's not talking to him. So he like, so like, do you like having sex? Like, what are your needs? Like, what's your intimacy levels? Is what he's asking her. And she's like, well, I feel like, we don't have to talk about it, until we're in that space or whatever. He's like, but we are, like, we're married, so we have to have these kind of conversations. And he's like, well, it has to progress naturally. I think it has to happen. She then said, we can't just, like, pencil it in on the calendar. So jokingly, he like, well, we could, like, I could get up here and just write, sex with my wife. And he writes on the little dry erase board on the calendar, like, sex with my spouse. She then say, oh, I thought that was him being childish. I feel disrespected in my home. He crossed a boundary. What the fuck? Karen. Girl, y'all have been married for almost 3 weeks. Y'all have to have this conversation. He's not saying yes, let's fuck. He's saying, but we need to have a conversation about what your intimacy level looks like. Do you like a lot of sex, a little bit of sex? Do you like being? What do you like, don't like, or do you even like intimacy at all? The fact that Karen is older than Miles and could not sit there and have a rationalized adult conversation about intimacy pisses me off. I had a whole conversation today with him about all kinds of things intimate like. We had a whole adult conversation. I want to have an adult live. I want to have a conversation with Capricorn live convo with y'all about sex stuff, but I don't know. Anyway, but I don't get how she feels as if he's so young, but her grown ass can't even have a conversation about intimacy. She gets on my goddamn nerves. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay, next up we have Christina and Henry, okay, who had a whole kind. This day was on the couch chilling or whatever, and so we know they had a whole little fight last night or whatever, and he left to get him some space. You know what I'm saying, because she was complaining about stuff or whatever. So we see it the following day. She didn't came back after hanging out with some friends and whatnot, and you know what I'm saying. She's like, I have to tell you something. I have to tell you something I've been dealing with, and you may not know. She's like, I have been off my ADD medication for over a month, okay? And I think that's the reason why I've been acting so different, why I have not been able to handle situations better, and why I have been impatient. You know what I'm saying? I'm off my meds, and that's what it is or whatever. I'm going to get back on my meds, you know what I'm saying? And I hope when I do that, you'll see a more positive change in me, and I feel like I'll be able to handle things better then. And I like that he was completely understanding. He was attentive to her talking about it. He let her explain it all without him interrupting her. You know what I'm saying? Not that he would. I'm like, I like how he allowed her the time to explain that to him. Because some people wouldn't do that. Some people were like, what? You got medication. And I like that he did not do that. She brings up how, one thing that she's dealt with, that people in her life have, including her mom, have been against her taking medications. That's one reason why she actually stopped taking it. I'm like, you don't let anybody stop you from taking stuff that's making you better in one way or the other. Okay, but I digress. He it's people all over the world who take medications for different kind of reasons or whatever. Like, it's nothing for you to feel ashamed about, and don't let anybody else make you feel that way or whatever. You're saying, I appreciate you telling me this and everything, and I do hope that once you get back on your medication, you know what I'm saying, that you will be better going forward or whatever. And it was cute. They had a whole sit down and I felt like it was the first genuine conversation they've had. And I think that she said that was the reason why she had just been so weird about the question answer shit, because she was off her meds. So that was cool. So we then see them get the same questions from the producers to ask each other, whatever. And then, but she also asked him, like, do you still want to get to know me? He's like, well, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Of course. Like, I feel like the more time you know someone, the more time things will develop or whatever, and things will happen over time or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? And so she then asked, like, well, how do we know when we're in love or whatever? He's like, this kind of happens, And she said, yeah, I think you just kind of, sneaks up on you, whatever. He asked her if she's ever been in love. She said, yes, I was in love with my ex or whatever. Even though we were broke and didn't have much money or whatever, it still was an exciting, relationship or whatever. She then brings up how I realized that in most of my relationships that I was kind of the reason that it was always like a fighting thing. Like, we were always fussing and fighting or whatever. And I think I was a reason for that. And she's like, but in this marriage, you know what I'm saying, I want to be different. I don't want to be the reason that, you know what I'm saying, we don't work out or whatever. And I finally realized why they matched us, because you know what I'm saying, you bring me down a level so much when I'm like, hype or whatever, whereas my exes would, ramp shit up or whatever. You're the opposite. Like, if I'm upset or whatever, you're not yelling at me, you don't make fun of me or whatever, you calm me down. And I get that's why they put us together. So I want to learn more, and as things progress or whatever, I want things to get better. And I'm like, oh, that was nice, you know what I'm saying? And then she also said, you know what I'm saying, like, the more time we spend together, like, I do realize, like, I do like you. And when she said that, he just started smiling. It was so cute. I said, oh, that's nice or whatever. So again, they're starting to bond a little bit to whatever. Now we then see they have to go do stuff or whatnot. So they go to play some golf, because he loves golf. And then she's like, I want to see him in his element. If y'all can hear bumping and grinding or whatever, or noises, them motherfuckers is upstairs pissing me off. And that's I just have because I'm rolling my eyes so much as I'm talking, because, girl. Anyway, so she wants to see him in his element playing golf, because he likes golf. And, she hopes that will, make him take the lead and stuff. And it did, and she liked it because he know how to golf, she does not. And so he was leading her and teaching her how to golf and do this and do that. And I think he talked the more in this one scene than we've seen all season because he was in his element. And sometimes that's what people don't get. In order to bond with people, you can put them in different situations that will loosen them up a little bit. He likes golf, so he'll talk while he's doing that or whatever. So I'm like, that was smart. And they both bring up how, we can do this if we're ever mad at each other. Like if we're mad, let's go play golf, because you can't be pissed at a golf course. You can. You shouldn't, but you could be, whatever. And they both enjoy the day, and they both say how being there, talking and laughing and whatever. And you could tell he was looking her in the face more. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't looking down and around. He was looking at her and having communication with her facially. And they both admit how it helped their chemistry or whatever. We then see they went salsa dancing. Shaking and stuff. And it was weird at first because he don't salsa dance, but he was there to participate. And he was, intrigued or whatever, kept learning. Because he wasn't doing that good at first. He learned and kept going or whatever. They did really good. The teachers kept reminding him to look up. Don't look at the floor so much or whatever. And you can tell that they have both gotten more comfortable with each other. Now, I don't know how long it's going to last. But, you can see a little, a shot of light at the end of their tunnel, you know what I'm saying, with this, and with her saying, the reason she may have been so off-putting and whatnot. Okay, we then have Woody and Amani. Okay, and Woody has set up, for them to go get mani-pedis and everything, and then she went I go back, like every 2 weeks and get my nails done or whatever, but I do my own hair, so that way I'm not spending money on hair and nails or whatever. Now Woody, get mani-pedis too, so ain't no big issue or whatever. And then as she's sitting there, she bring up, I'm going to get my braids taken out and I'm going to change my hair or whatever. So let's discuss. I think I want to go and shave my hair. He was like, what? She's like, yeah, I think it'll be nice. And he was like, you joke. I think she was joking, but I don't know. But anywhere it goes, she's like, well, we had to discuss it. I'm just saying I'm going to change some things or whatever. So she also brings up how she was happy to be able to be out and have a husband who wants to come with her to get her nails done or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like it makes, me having a husband, like it makes me like it even more. And you can tell Woody likes it. You know what I'm saying? Woody likes his wife. Okay, so I think that's the thing there, whatever. So at the house, they get the same set of questions and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And Woody says for him, about knowing he in love or whatever. He said, I know I'm in love when I think about her more than me. Okay, when I'm doing things to see you smile, when I'm doing. And as he's saying these things, they're showing things he's already done for Amani. And she's like, well, you giving examples of stuff that you've been doing. You did it already. You've been doing. You did that. You did that. You did that. Like, you love me. So you love me. He was like, well, I can't say I like my wife. I'm saying I do have love for you. Yeah, but do you have, or do you love me? He's like, well, no, I do. I love you. You know what I'm saying? I do. I have love for you, and I do love you. And she's like, oh, okay. And she's like, he loves his wife, and I'm his wife. And she just smiles. But she tells him, like, I can't say that I'm in love with you just yet. You know what I'm saying? I for sure like you. You know what I'm saying? And I can feel myself growing towards being in love with you. Now, there's a difference between being in love and loving someone. And I do feel like Imani also has love for Woody. I think they both have this connection. And I won't say that they're in love, but I do sense or feel they have love for one another, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then, but she admits, like, I'm a bit scared, so I'll be stopping myself from fully, feeling things right now, because each time before when I've been in love, I've always been the one to get hurt. And he admitted, like, it kind of sucks that she's bringing up things from her past, into this current relationship, but I get it, you know what I'm saying? And I'd have to keep showing her, you know what I'm saying, I'm not her exes. And it's a cool thing that Woody can say, I'm aggravated, but that ain't gonna hinder me from, you know what I'm saying, caring for her and being who I am with her, to show her I ain't the mother dude, so whatnot. And so I'm like, that was cute. So we then see later on, to make up for like not telling him that she loves him, she made dinner for them. What is this right here? And he came home from work and he like, what is this? What's going doing here? And then, she's like, well, I just wanted, to make dinner for you, whatever, so you can go home to a little meal, whatever. He like, oh, to see I'm coming home, walking in, and my wife has prepared dinner. It shows me that she does love me, but she does not want to say it. So I'll give her the time that she needs to say it. And I'm like, I get what he meant. It's true. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can feel something, and as long as you don't say it, it means, well, I didn't say it, so well, it ain't true, so I ain't got to be mad or whatever. And he see that, he like, cause she's doing things to show me she loves me. Cause sometimes it's not about what you say, it's your actions. And what he was saying is she's showing me the action that she loves me. You know what I'm saying? And I don't care about her saying it just yet, or right now, I know it or whatever. And I'm like, that's cute. Okay, I like that. So they sitting around and eating or whatever, like, I gotta, what I'm saying, you made me feel, special. I need to pull some on my bag now, ha 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 ha. She's like, no, you always, what I'm saying, doing stuff, like you doing this and that or whatever. You do so much, so I just wanted to like step my game up too. He's like, no, I just want to see you smile. You know what I'm saying? That's why I do stuff, but I appreciate you doing this so much. Thank you so much or whatever. It's like, okay, I wanna cuddle later. He's like, okay, I can do that. He's then look at her legs. Her leggings have like mesh material. What he like, is this? It's like see-through. She's like, yeah, it's like a mesh, whatever. He like, oh, okay, you tempted my flesh. And he kind of smiled. I'm like, he is freaky dick. He like, girl. No, he said, she was like, I could have on a burqa and you would still, be tempted or whatever. He like, well, I'm gonna get the. He said, I'm gonna get the bacon, the mustard, and the cheese or whatever, and I'm gonna sop that burger. And I'm like, sop a burger? What? And she's like, what? He's like, what? She's like, I said burqa. It's a Muslim garb. He's like, oh, I thought you said burger. It was so funny because he just rolled what he thought she said. She said, because how would I wear a burger? He's like, I don't know how you wear a burger, but I was gonna take it off. I'm looking like, I love their chemistry. Not their looks, not how great they both look together. I love their chemistry and how they seem to have real conversations or whatever, good, bad, or indifferent or whatnot. So it was cool to see them having that whole little moment. And I do think if she had on the burqa, he would still be wanting to get that thing or whatnot. Bennett and Amelia. This is the best photo I can catch of them together at one time or whatever. So we find out that they had sex, okay? And, he said, I'm satisfied, And she's like, I don't want to talk about it, but I'm sure he will. And she just smiles. And I'm like, oh, that's cute. I guess it was good for them both. I don't know. And so again, they get the questions too about, how you can love or whatever. They both gave long, drawn out. I think the butterflies will rain down, and then the feeling of mayonnaise and mustard will come down our souls. And then, the robin will fly across the thing, and you will feel the butterfly's wings splash on your face like a rainbow. It was that kind of like long, drawn out, articulate thing out of what they do or whatever. But they both was like, you'll just know when you know, okay? And they both admit they both want it to happen, in whatever way that it happens. But it was girl, I was like, what the fuck? I don't have time to take them kind of notes. I don't have time for that. So the following day, we see it's a day of surprises. Is it Amelia? Yeah. Amelia, is it Amelia? Yes, it is. I don't know what's her name. Amelia has planned, some surprises for Bennett. And one of them was, I'm taking to the park. I made a cake for him as a surprise or whatever. But he comes in the kitchen the following morning and the cake is sitting on the counter because she did not remember to put it up. And she's like, don't look. I mean, he's seen it, but it was fine and whatnot. And so he kind of plays along or whatever. And so they then go to the park. Okay, and at the park, she has him walking like on a tightrope. It was called something different. I can't think of what she called it, but to me, you taught him to walk a tightrope between two trees. And as you see, they have on matching outfits. It was cute. Okay, it was very, very cute. And he kept falling at first, but eventually he got up there and he was kind of walking a little bit. So it was cute. They then unpacked their picnic, because she also made a picnic basket and had them with the cake or whatever. And they had a good day. Now, was they talking more? Yes. Was I listening? No. Okay? Because there was a lot of drawn out, I care for you. I'm not going to break my back for you. Like, I don't want to fall off the rope and break my back, but I do care for you enough to, be around and do this or do that. That's the kind of conversation it was. But I kind of was like, okay. I get, again, this episode wasn't all that to me, so I got, a little bit here, a little bit there. Lastly, Olivia and Brett. Now, I'm like, because they're going to be on this episode at all? I'm like, because they was kind of going a little bit. So their part, where I made this fast forward through it, I don't know. So we see them getting the question from the producers to ask or whatever. How will you know when you are in love? And Brett was like, you know, love just slides on in. I said, yes, love does slide on in. Okay. And she said, when you know, just like when you know, again, not really answering the questions. I'm like, y'all sometimes be so boring or whatever. And so the next question, like, well, what can you do to show love to one another? Now, he gives like these little funny, like, oh, you can, open my beer top. He was even like weird, funny answers, like not really taking it too serious or whatever. And he's like, because I like to add humor to things because that's what I do. That don't always work in all situations. So sometimes Brett, stop being childish or whatever. And she like, I feel like, he be trying to be funny, so it makes it hard for me to get like how he feels because he's always joking about shit and whatnot. I say, well, that's what I can't even say where you picked them because she did not. Anyway, so she admits like, how if you keep doing things, if we both keep doing things that we like, that will eventually go into things that we both like, then we can kind of fall in love or whatever, because it's the small reasons that things happen that we remember. And I'm like, I don't think that's true. And I kind of get what she means. Like, if I like chocolate milk and you give me chocolate milk, that's a small thing that would help me fall in love with you. However, if you buy me the wrong chocolate milk and then it spills all over the kitchen floor and then there's things that we got to get the floor redone, that's a huge issue that we should discuss. Because she brought up how, you can't focus on the big things so much. If you focus on the small things, the big things will be less and less an issue. And he was like, I don't think that's true. And saying, like, avoiding the big things is what can break up a marriage. And I agree. I really, really do. I'm hoping she did not mean to ignore real big issues, because that's not a thing to do. They like each other, but I feel like neither of them know how to be a couple, let alone husband and wife. And let's add on that they strangers. So it's a lot going on in this shit that I don't care about or whatever. So we then see Olivia and Amelia go for a walk. No, it was Olivia and Amani, not Amelia. And, she tells her how Brett is hard to read because he's always joking or whatever. Now, that's all I heard them say because, again, I was not really listening. But the thing that she was complaining about him for are actual and factual, okay? But I feel like those are things that she needs to tell him. Amani brought up when all the guys go out and when Woody gets home, he has brought up before that Brett gives these political, in the middle ass answer that doesn't really give any information. Like, it's not really anything like they can learn about him for his answers, and like that's the same thing he does with Olivia. Maybe he just, don't want to stay with her, and so he's not giving much. He keeps saying he likes her, keeps saying that she's great, but he's not acting that way, okay? And I was bored, so I'm like, whatever. We did see them go on a little swamp tour. I was bored, okay? They looked bored too, okay? They then held a baby gator, and then towards the end, it was like a real alligator in the ground, in the swamp or whatever, and they smiled and held each other, but I feel like something about them don't match. I just can't put my finger on it yet, but I don't like it yet, and I'm gonna leave it be. And that was the whole episode, honey. That was everything. I'm done. Peace.